Welcome. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to compare decimals. So let's review real quick comparing. So if I have these two numbers, 52 and 38, and a circle in between, I'm going to compare both of them. So 52 is greater than 38. So my alligator is eating my bigger number. You guys know this. I'm just reviewing it. And let's get started with some decimals. So we've seen these models before. Here it is saying that we have 3/10, and we are comparing that to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/10. And you usually there'll be a circle here just so you know that you're comparing, but you look at how much is shaded more. You have 3 over here and 5 over here. So the alligator eats the bigger one. 5/10 is greater than 3/10, or 3/10 is less than 5/10. Let's take a look at another model. Here it is showing us that we have 8/10, and we're comparing it to 6/10. I know that 8, my numerator, is bigger than 6. I have more shaded over here than I do over here. Therefore, 8/10 is greater than 6/10. And now let's take a look when we have numbers. So this is saying 3/10, and if you recall, 3/10 is written like this, and this is 7/10 over here. My denominators are the same. I have the same number in each of my, or the same amount of numbers in each of my place values. So here in my ones, I have a 0 in both sides. Then my decimal point, then I have 3 and 7. And 7 and 3 here on our numerators. So I know that 3/10 is less than 7/10 because 3 is less than 7. Same with this one. This one doesn't have any zeros here, so we just look after our decimal and then our exact same place value, which is our tenths here. So we have 4/10 and 8/10. My 4 is less than my 8, therefore 4/10 is less than 8. Same thing here. Let's say you have a 0 here, but no 0 here. It doesn't change. There's just an invisible 0 sitting right here. Since they didn't put it, it doesn't matter. We don't really need to pay attention to it. We just look at our next number after our decimal in this case. And I see I have 2/10 and 1/10. You could write that as a fraction if that helps you visualize it, just to see your denominators are the same. But you can just look. This is the same place value as this one. Your 2's are in 1 are in the same place value. You just got to figure out which is bigger, 2 or 1. And in this case, 2/10 is greater than 1/10. And it doesn't really change when it comes to mixed numbers. Here you have 2 as your whole number and 4/10. 2 and 4/10 in comparison to 2, which are totally shaded in, 2 holes that are totally shaded in, and 1/10 that is shaded in down here. So 2 and 4/10 compared to 2 and 1/10, 2 and 4/10 would be greater than 2 and 1/10. Same thing with numbers. Start at the first place value you have here. Compare the two. 3 is greater than 2. So right away, you know that 3 and 4/10 is going to be greater than 2 and 8/10. Even though my 8's bigger, doesn't really matter. I'm looking here at my very first place value of my ones, which is 3, and then my other place, or my ones over here is 2. So that's just saying 3 and 4/10 is greater than 2 and 8/10, which makes sense. Next one here is you have 5 and 6/10 in comparison to 5 and 4/10. Look at the first place value starting at your left, 5 and 5. Those are exactly the same. So go to the next one, 6 and 4. Well, you know that 6 is greater than 4, so 5 and 6/10 is going to be greater than 5 and 4 tenths. It's as if you were saying 56 in comparison to 54. If I had 56 pieces of candy, I have more than my friend who has 54 pieces of candy. The only difference is you have your decimal here or your fraction, 5 and 6 tenths in comparison to 5 and 4 tenths. Well, still same thing. 6 is bigger than 4, 5 and 6 tenths is greater than 5 and 4 tenths. And same thing here, you're looking at your whole number here. You've got 10 compared to 9. 10 and 3 tenths is greater than 9 and 7 tenths. Like I said before, even though our 3 is smaller than our 7, I have 10 things here, I only have 9 things here. And one more with our whole numbers, 7 and 7 are the exact same, just looking at our 3 and our 5. 3 is less than 5, therefore 7 and 3 tenths is less than 7 and 5 tenths. Boys and girls, you know how to compare numbers. The only difference is our decimal here. And honestly, it's not much different than what you already do. If this was just 3 tenths in comparison to 5 tenths, right away you know that 3 is less than 5. And you have 3 and 5. 3 is less than 5 tenths. There you have it. 3 tenths is less than 5 tenths. Sorry. There you have it, boys and girls. Good luck. You've got this.